Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked. This is indeed my 100th episode, and I thought what better way to film it and do it than to spend it here in one of my favorite historical sites locally. So I am just outside Mound on the grounds of the Cahokia Mounds State Historical Site, and there's lots more I can tell you and show you. So all right, I'll just go ahead and I won't cut to the chase, but I'll just start the tour. Here we go. That over there is the mound. Now keep in mind I am actually in the parking lot, so there's lots to see. I'm going to do some follow-up videos on what's to see in Cahokia Mounds, but I thought I might as well start where, I know it best, so here we go. So just think, this was all man-made thousands of years ago. This was constructed without wagon wheels, or wheels of any kind for that matter, or any beast of burden, or any kind of metal tools, stuff we take it for granted today. I mean, yeah, it's a very bizarre perspective, but yes, that is true, my friends. Here's a little historical marker, and before we go up there, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the stuff it says and shows. Mound is the largest prehistoric earthwork in the Americas. So yeah, I mean, nothing in LA, New York, or any of those big cities. It's all right here. Its base covers over 14 acres and it rises to a height of 100 feet. It contains an estimated 22 million cubic feet of earth, all hand carried in baskets from the many borrow pits throughout the Cahokia site. And I mean, it was not built all at once, but in a series of stages, mostly from 950 to 1200. There's lots more to say, and there have been some excavations here at this site, but not very many. But there's still a lot of mysteries underneath, if you know what I mean. Now, if you're driving on Interstate 255, you'll see a lot of these, and if you're wondering what the whole meaning of that is the Birdman tablet. And the first Birdman tablet was excavated in 1971 on the east side of the mound. It was a sandstone tablet, and I believe it can be viewed inside the museum at the Interpretive Center. I mean, we can only use our imagination when, discovering what it was like back then, as they did. And the fourth terrace building was probably the residence of the leader and the religious political focus of this urban center. And here's a picture of what they believe. The paramount chief and his attendants greet the rising sun from the top of Monk's Mound. In some Mississippian peoples in the southeast, the chief was believed to be related to the sun, and that may have been true at Cahokia as well. And now for some by the numbers. Pretty much what was already said over there. All right, now we're gonna head on over there. This here is the south ramp. Excavations here reveal that this ramp had been enlarged several times after AD 1150. On the surfaces of the older ramps, impressions in the soil indicated where log steps were held in place with wooden pegs. A fence and a possible gate stood at the top of the ramp. The original stairs may have curved around the face of the ramp. Our stairs are not meant to look like theirs, just to be in the same place and to provide safe access to the top. And not surprisingly, yes, you will find a lot of people getting their exercise on out here, and it's cool because yes, there are a lot of steps, and who needs a stairmaster? So I'm going to go ahead and ascend up that ramp. Here we go. And by the way, there are 154 steps that lead to the top. Can I do it? We shall see. Here we go. So after you get through the first section of the stairs, there are plenty more to climb up as part of it, but here's just the middle ground of it, middle area I call it. This talks more about the southwest corner. Now here's something I did not know. In the 1730s, French priests built a chapel at this location for the Cahokia subtribe of the Illinois Nation, or the Illinois Nation, who had come to this area in the early 1600s, long after the site had been abandoned. Several were buried near the chapel with French trade goods, and they apparently had a village on this first terrace from about 1735 to 1752. Unreal. Wow. All right, now I'm going to continue my climb. Here we go. Woohoo! I made it. To say it was a tiresome journey to go up here is no, it's not small in any way. Yes, it was very, oh my gosh, can't even catch my breath. But it is believed that the people on the top of the hierarchy lived on top of here because, yes, it was the higher ground. That way they can get a nice view of what's going on inside their city. And as it said on the marker there earlier, this was protected by a fence and some gates. So this here is a map of what it was believed to have looked like back in the day. Like all the mounds and their numbers, Grand Plaza. So that big mound right over there between those trees, that's the Grand Plaza. I will include that in a future video. That over there is the interpretive center. They have limited hours for obvious reasons, you know, with the pandemic and all. But I mean, if you do ever get a chance, be sure to visit the museum. It is free. I mean, they do accept donations, which I highly recommend people do donate. And there are plenty of walking trails here. And if you do go inside there, stop at the gift shop because they have lots of good stuff. Souvenirs, Native American stuff like jewelry and whatnot. And you also have some good history books in there too. So on a clear day, you can see forever. Okay, not really, but that is a St. Louis skyline. Really amazing view from here where I'm standing, plus the Stan Musial Bridge. And then you can also kind of see the skyline of Clayton. That over there, that big hill over there is a landfill, but behind it, sort of hiding, is the skyline for Clayton, Missouri, and Central West End. Over there is the Granite City Steel Mill, all those buildings. I mean, there's lots to see. Some of it's too small I can identify on camera, but if you are planning on coming up here, you're in for an amazing view, 360. Now I'm going to show you the west, or the east side, I should say. Here we go. Now here is the east side of it, or east part of Illinois. And side note, I apologize for the wind. No matter what day of the year, it is going to be windy up here because, yes, you're on high ground. But man, getting my last breath in. Again, here's a little map. The stockade right over there. Stockade 1 and 2, that is. That is Interstate 270, and that is Collinsville, Illinois. And you can't really see them, but it's the bluffs. Some people note the bluffs that kind of separate parts of Madison County. And they all go through all the way to South St. Clair County. That, of course, is the parking lot and the sidewalk I walked on. And I'll show you the Monk's Mound 4th Terrace marker, which is on top of here. So really there's not much to see. I mean, you can hear the traffic of Interstate 55 and 70. And by the way, I gotta correct myself, that was not 270, that was 55 and 70 that goes through there. And it's mostly forestry, and that's cool. I mean, you can see a few buildings, like maybe some from Wood River and Edwardsville, but in water towers. Still, it's a very nice, peaceful view. Because, yes, civilization does live below it. Well, as much as I enjoy of staying up here, I could be up here all day. It is now time for me to descend down these steps. So, until we meet again. Thank you so much for tuning into the 100th episode of Historically Marked. I know, I mean, this is one of my favorite all-time local sites, historical sites that is, For some, you know, it's an exercise place, and that's fine. But it can be that or anything, what you will. But it's also an important prehistoric site, and again, it's part of one of the 24 UNESCO sites here in the United States. And I mean, millions of people visit here each year, and that's no exaggeration. But I'm proud to have shown you this, and I'm looking forward to entertaining you with some more history in future episodes. So, all right, I am Jason, outside Collinsville in Fairmont City, Illinois, on the grounds of Cahokia Mounds State Historic Site. Signing off.